Take a listen at the powerful conversation that the Russian President Vladimir Putin had with the President of Burkina Faso Captain Ibrahim Traoré in the Kremlin on May 10, 2025, on the sidelines of the 80th anniversary of Russia's victory in the Great Patriotic War. Esteemed Mr. President, dear friends, we are very glad to see you, and I would like to thank you once again at the beginning of our conversation for your decision to take part in the events marking the 80th anniversary of victory in the Great Patriotic War. I remember our constructive and useful conversation when you visited our country for the first time in 2023 to participate in the Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg. Your current visit to Russia to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the victory is very symbolic and reflects the friendly nature of Russian-Burkina relations. I would also like to recall your country's contribution to the defeat of German Nazism and its satellites. About 30,000 residents of today's Burkina Faso fought as part of the anti-Hitler coalition in the Fighting France formations under the leadership of the legendary son of the French people, General Charles de Gaulle. Today we are united by the common goal of combating terrorism and extremism. We will continue to help the Republic restore law and constitutional order, and assist in suppressing radical groups remaining in certain areas of Burkina Faso. Over the past 2 years, we have achieved significant progress in developing mutually beneficial cooperation in various fields. At the end of 2023, after a break of more than 30 years, the Russian embassy in Ouagadougou resumed its work. Regular political dialogue has been established. Although the volume of trade turnover is still very modest, it is still increasing, and this is a good trend. It certainly needs to be maintained. We need to work together to further strengthen economic ties and diversify mutual trade. The Burkina Faso Economic Days held in Russia in October 2024, which were attended by a high-ranking Burkina Faso delegation headed by the Prime Minister, proved useful in this regard. The issue of creating an intergovernmental commission is being worked out. At the end of last year, a specialized working group was already formed. We will continue to help your country in training national personnel in 2024-2025. The quota of Russian state scholarships for Burkina Faso citizens has been increased more than twofold. This year, we are ready to accept another 27 students from your country at the expense of the federal budget. In total, about 3,500 Burkina Faso citizens have received education with us. The promotion of cultural and humanitarian ties is facilitated by the Russian House, which has been operating in Ouagadougou since 2024, where, in particular, the teaching of the Russian language is organized. There is great potential for cooperation in the field of healthcare and sanitation. Most recently, on April 24 to 25, Ms. Popova visited Ouagadougou. We are ready to conduct joint scientific research, develop laboratory infrastructure and train specialists in the field. We also attach priority importance to providing humanitarian assistance to Burkina Faso. Last year, we sent you 25,000 tons of wheat free of charge. This month, a large consignment of other food products will arrive in Ouagadougou. We value close coordination with Burkina Faso on the world stage, including within the United Nations and other international organizations. A new useful format for interaction has become consultations between Russia and the Confederation of Sahel States. The first such meeting took place at the level of foreign ministers in Moscow in April of this year. It seems to me that we have good prospects in many areas. We have the opportunity to discuss some of them today. Thank you very much. Good health, Comrade President. I hope I pronounced it well. And it is an honor to be here at the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Great War. And I wanted to congratulate you and thank you for this invitation, which is symbolic for us. And during my presence here, I must admit that I learned many lessons. This session that I was able to attend before dinner the day before, the cultural session, made me understand that history and culture are the foundation for building a strong and resilient army. We were able to see together all the sacrifices that the Soviet people made so that we are in a free world today. And we want to thank you for this invitation, because these are moments that have also allowed us to reflect on our situation and think of new perspectives. And on that note, I think that the obstacles we have before us today should not stop us. And obstacles are a good thing in a way that we must overcome. The proof, I think that with all the sanctions against Russia for some time, Russia is managing to develop an internal mechanism that places it at the forefront of the international scene. And we are learning, we are taking good note of these lessons that we have learned here, and at the same level at the parade. I want to say that I was amazed to see the sequence of vehicles that paraded before us, notably from the legendary T-34 tank that won during the Great War to today's modern tank. How much the Russian army has modernized, how much technology has contributed to strengthening this army, and in this context we hope that the cooperation we have can strengthen exponentially. I thank you in advance for everything that is done for us, notably these scholarships that are awarded to Burkina and which will increase. And this morning, I visited the University of Chemistry, and I said that the area we are going to focus on after defense and security is education. This is the area that interests us the most, particularly science. Russia must help us train our youth, particularly in the sciences, so that we can develop the Euro machinery at home, whether it is the machinery that goes with the army or the machinery that goes with industry. Because it is only at this price that we will be able to develop within Africa. The war that is imposed on us today, we believe that it is also only a manifestation of Nazism. Because the terrorism that exists today is not terrorism, it is imperialism. It is our lands that interest those who fight us. And so ending this war, having a strong army and launching the development of our homeland, such is the essence of our fight. And we are counting on you, above all, to train our leaders. Because cooperation, as we often say in Africa, we like to have a lot of requests. We know that you are in a special military operation. We understand all the challenges that exist and the future, which is uncertain for the whole world. We can understand that. So we will not be there perhaps asking for a lot of things, asking for help or anything, but the help that you can give us is above all this transfer of knowledge that we want. And so we would like to have more scholarships and see in what perspective we can ourselves give scholarships to our students to study here. And thirdly, how can the universities here be duplicated in Burkina Faso, especially those that I visited, and also there are many other universities in the field of sciences. How can we duplicate them in Burkina Faso with all the necessary laboratory that is needed to train our young people in a practical way, and so that we can therefore be at the heart of our own development? So this is the essential demand that we currently have in the context that we are living in, to be able to transform everything that we have on site, to produce many things ourselves, and for Burkina Faso to be a people where many young Africans will come and also learn science just like here in Russia.